Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright folks, get comfortable because today we're diving deep into everything happening with the Washington Commanders. This team, under the leadership of head coach Ron Rivera, and now bolstered by some strategic moves in the offseason, is aiming for something big, not just a playoff appearance, but a sustained run that could redefine their place in the NFL hierarchy. Now, I know many of you have been following the ups and downs, the twists and turns of Washington's journey, especially after their impressive showing in 2024, which many considered a bit of a fairy tale season. But let me tell you, the foundation is being built for something much more solid, much more enduring. The Commanders in recent years have been a franchise searching for consistency, trying to find that right mix of talent, leadership, and resilience to take them from perennial underdogs to serious contenders. And under the new regime, there's a clear message. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has to perform at their best. No more complacency, no more just showing up. If players aren't pulling their weight, they'll be shown the door, no matter when they join the team or what their past achievements might be. That's a big reason why Washington was able to go from being an also-ran to knocking on the door of the NFC Championship in just their first season under Coach Quinn. And this isn't just talk. The organization is serious about building a winning culture, one that can stand the test of time. They're looking to establish a core that can compete year after year, not just for a flash-in-the-pan playoff run. It's about creating a team that's sustainable, one that can challenge the giants of the league like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys for years to come. That's why every move, every signing, and every decision is scrutinized with a long-term vision in mind. But let's be real, this kind of overhaul and high standards aren't good news for everyone. Some players might find themselves on the outside looking in if they don't adapt, perform, or buy into the culture. And one recent signing, in particular, has already found himself in a precarious spot. That's Michael Gallup. Now, many of you remember Gallup from his days with the Dallas Cowboys, where he showed flashes of brilliance, especially during his 2019 season when he racked up over 1,000 yards receiving. That was a special year for him, and many thought he was on his way to becoming one of the top receivers in the league. But then came some setbacks. Gallup's journey has been anything but smooth sailing. After struggling with injuries and inconsistent production, he was cut loose by the Cowboys. His time with the Raiders didn't pan out as hoped, and it was a tough blow being released, feeling that rejection. And to make matters worse, Gallup admitted that the lack of motivation and the feeling of being sidelined really affected him deeply. It's a story we hear often in the NFL, talented players who just can't seem to find their rhythm, their confidence after a series of setbacks. Yet here he is, back in the league, trying to revive his career with the Commanders. Washington took a chance on him this summer, signing him to a one-year deal, hoping that a fresh start and a familiar coaching staff could spark something in him. And for a while, it looked promising. Gallup came into camp with a lot of enthusiasm, and early on he was making some impressive catches, showing that he might still have some of that old magic. But unfortunately, things took a turn. During Washington's mandatory minicamp, Gallup suffered a hamstring strain, nothing too unusual in football, but in his case, it was a significant setback. And here's where the real challenge begins. Because in the highly competitive world of NFL training camps, every chance counts. Washington's wide receiver room is stacked with talent. You've got Terry McLaurin, one of the best route runners in the league, a true alpha in the WR core. Deebo Samuel SR, a versatile weapon and a leader. Jalen Lane, who's been showing flashes of brilliance, and Noah Brown, with his reliable hands and experience. Luke McCaffrey, who's been eyeing a spot on the roster. That's a formidable group, and for Gallup, making the final 53-man roster means not just showing flashes of talent but staying healthy, being consistent, and standing out in a very crowded room. And that's the crux of the problem. Gallup's injury couldn't have come at a worse time. Because, let's face it, when you're fighting for a roster spot in a team that's clearly on the rise, every rep, every target becomes crucial. The competition is fierce, and Washington's coaching staff isn't known for giving freebies. They want players who can produce right now, who can step in and contribute from day one. Gallup, with his history, needs to be available, needs to hit the ground running during training camp, and he can't afford any more setbacks. His past with the Cowboys, his struggles to stay healthy, and his recent injury all add up to a challenging road ahead. Now, it's not just about Gallup. The entire wide receiver room is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing battles in training camp. McLaurin is locked in as the clear number one, but who will step up behind him? Will Noah Brown carve out a role? Can Jalen Lane continue his upward trajectory? And where does Gallup fit into that puzzle? It's a question that's keeping fans on the edge of their seats. Because, at the end of the day, the roster decisions in Washington aren't just about talent on paper, they're about health, consistency, and the ability to perform under pressure. And the stakes couldn't be higher for Gallup, who's fighting against the clock to make this team. But let's not forget, the Commanders' outlook isn't just focused on the wide receiver core. Their entire roster is assembled with a clear purpose: to push for a Super Bowl. The defense has been bolstered with key signings and draft picks, aiming to be one of the league's top units. The offensive line is being reshaped to provide better protection for their quarterback, whether it's Sam Howell or another signal caller. And the running game, traditionally a strength of Washington, is looking to be even more potent with the addition of some promising young talent. Speaking of quarterbacks, Howell's development remains a central storyline. The young quarterback showed flashes of brilliance last season, and the coaching staff is banking on him taking that next step. The team has emphasized building around him, giving him the weapons and protection he needs to succeed. The expectations are sky-high, and fans are eager to see if Howell can truly become the franchise quarterback they've been searching for since the days of RG3 and Kirk Cousins. And let's talk about the NFC East, because it's arguably the most competitive division in the NFL right now. The Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and Washington are all vying for supremacy, and every game, every decision could tip the balance. The Commanders know they can't afford to rest on their laurels. They're actively trying to outwork their division rivals, and that includes making smart roster moves, developing young talent, and ensuring that their veteran leadership keeps everyone motivated. Looking ahead, the upcoming season promises to be a roller coaster. The schedule is tough, with divisional battles that will test their resilience. But if the Commanders can stay healthy, especially in key positions like wide receiver and quarterback, there's no reason they can't be a dark horse for a deep playoff run. The core of this team is talented, hungry, and driven by a clear mission: to return to the Super Bowl stage and bring a championship to Washington. So, as we approach training camp and the preseason, all eyes will be on those critical battles, especially in the wide receiver room. Gallup's journey is just one story within a larger narrative of a franchise determined to reclaim their place at the top. The coaching staff is setting high standards, and the players know they need to rise to the occasion. The fans, of course, are more fired up than ever, dreaming of a Super Bowl parade, of finally lifting that trophy again after so many years. Remember, though, that football is unpredictable. Injuries, unexpected breakthroughs, or even a game-changing draft pick can turn the tide. But if there's one thing that's clear, it's that the Washington Commanders are no longer content with being just a team to watch. They want to be the team to beat. The road to that goal is paved with hard work, resilience, and a little bit of luck. And for fans like you and me, it's an exciting time to be part of this journey, cheering on every play, every catch, and every victory along the way. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you believe Gallup can still find his place on this roster? Are you confident in Howell's progression? How do you see the NFC East shaping up this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This team is on the rise, and we're here to cover every step of their journey, so keep your eyes glued to this channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Commanders!